Then there's this footage of victims running in terror while one group of people just nonchalantly stands there. One of them is even vaping as the gunshots go off.
Down, everyone, Terrence! Terrence!
Here, we hit the watermelon on this side, so this would be the entry wound. Turn it around, this would be the exit wound. If you can see the watermelon, is, if you hold it up, it's still pretty much, it still has the bottom half, all that's split. Entry wound is right here. Go on to the back end. You can see the exit wound right here. The cool part about this is this was a full cinder block at the time. It's a two-tiered cinder block, just like it was before, and it completely split the top. Look, you can see like the little hole.
Anyway, how do you spot a hoax? You know, you gotta watch the words they use. Let me just spin this around for 1 second, see if I can. Well, all right, I'll go on this. See this picture right here? This is from the hoax. Now, I'm sure people that watch my channel can already spot what's wrong with this picture. And if you can't, I mean, look at these guys, staged. There's incoming shooting, cops, ooh, staged. And then you got this guy, just standing out in front, almost out in front of the cop, almost about ready to get shot. Then you got this guy casually, and you got a bunch of litter in this posed event. It's posed. I'm gonna have to spin this camera around on my own, but okay. So it's a posed event. It's a staged event. But you have to watch the words. You have to listen when they're telling you, because it is almost a big mockery. If you even read about CNN put in their wording, he was a lone wolf actor. The actor acted alone. They do give up the information. They let you know it is a hoax. And it's kind of incredible when you can see through the deception and you watch these all these fake people on. You know, have you ever been in a situation where it was just even scary, maybe a car crash or something? You know, maybe that sounds a little simple, but it's probably very traumatizing. You're not right on TV just like talking about, oh, but then you have to look too. You gotta look if you watch all this video that's coming out, watch the people. Like, all of a sudden it'll be staged, okay, move, you know, and there's always a guy in the background directing. And then you'll see all the people, and then you'll sometimes catch somebody smiling and looking at the camera or on their cell phone. And then you gotta look in the background. Don't ever look at what they want you to see. Like, I do this real cool sleight of hand, like the 3-card Monty. And yeah, look, here, watch. I mean, I know how to pull the mind. So anyway, you always watch in the background. So you see this movement of people coming towards the camera, but yet you got this dude in the background, like just casually walking right up to like the stage or something.
Then there's this footage of victims running in terror while one group of people just nonchalantly stands there. One of them is even vaping as the gunshots go off.
Down, everyone, Terrence! Terrence!
It went along my skull and came out about 3 inches later. So if it was an inch over or even a different point of trajectory, it would have been in my brain and I would have been gone. So
Where did it go?
it came right in the back, right in the center of my head, and it came out about 3 inches later along my skull.
Here, we hit the watermelon on this side, so this would be the entry wound. Turn it around, this would be the exit wound.
This is what the media has done with this entire story. They're going to tell you you're seeing something, but you're not going to see it. You're going to see simulated gunshot, of nobody being hit, of utter silence in the crowds after the shots fall. Everybody's just looking around. No screams of help, EMT, I need an ambulance. No screams of agony, no screams of pain. Not just one clip. In all the clips. All of them. Do you know Braden Machika, the guy who was shot in the head with the bullet that went in and then went out on the other side, but it only grazed him, but it penetrated his skull. And he had brain bleeding and brain effusion, cross-eyed vision, blurry vision. And after he had the brain penetrate his skull and then go out the other side, he got up and he ran. And he ran. And then he went to the police officer. And then there was a random passerby. And the police officer didn't triage his wound or bring him to the emergency room or summon an ambulance. No. He had a random passerby. Okay, I don't know how is that random. I thought they had the entire scene secure. But a random passerby goes along, and I'm going to put you in hey, lady, I got a gunshot. Guy just got shot back in the head here. He just got shot in the back of the head. Can you take him to the hospital and get him to the hospital for me? I'm just going to take this guy who's bleeding all out of his head, and you just shove him in the back of your car. Thank you. But let me show you the stories coming out today, because there's a lot of people questioning the bullshit of these people who are exploiting your good nature and who aren't woken up to the fact of the reality of what is done against this country and the people of this country to control your minds, to keep you subservient, in fear, and acquiescing to surveillance that doesn't keep you safer. So people are really pissed. They're exposing the victims as they should be exposed. Because they're not real. Now he reports, okay, these are his reported injuries. He's discharged. He was either discharged the very next day or the day after that. These are his injuries. Brain bleeding, brain swelling, fluid in the brain cavity. My sight is blurry and cross-eyed. This is the picture he put up the next day. The guy with the brain bleeding and the brain swelling and the fluid in the brain cavity, and his sight is blurry and cross-eyed. Okay? There you go. So that's what he's telling you. If you have brain bleeding, brain swelling, fluid in the brain cavity, you are not going to be sitting up doing live streaming videos the next day. You are going to have medical equipment that is going to be being provided to you to relieve the brain swelling, fluid in the brain cavity. You would be having surgery, most likely. You know, they will remove like bones to relieve pressure. You are not going to be conscious. You're not going to be sitting up and talking about this. But this is Braden. And let me show you his boo-boo. Because this one, well, he was only grazed, Debbie. No, what is it? He's saying his skull was penetrated and the bullet went in one side and out the other. And this is his boo-boo. This is what it looks like when you get hit by an automatic machine gun to the back of the head. This doesn't even make any logical sense. They don't even shave his head. They just put a little bacitracin on his gunshot wound here. And this is not what it looks like. If you were hit by an automatic machine gun, you're not going to even have the back of your head. And this is the day. This is the morning after the shooting here. And this is Donna. This is what it looked at. Yeah. Fake. No way he would be sitting up. No way that he would have the back of his head.
Wrapped around my head and helped me get to the road. And then she asked the police to help, and they stopped a random passerby. And she let me go in the back of her car, and she brought me to the hospital.
When we got to the hospital, we got separated, and
I was shot in the back of the head. It went through my skull and came out the other part of my skull, and blood was spraying out everywhere, and I have brain bleeding, and I have fluid in the brain, and I can't see, and I'm cross-eyed, but here I am sitting up in bed the very next day, and I'm released the day after, and I'm not rescued by a person, but a cop shoves me, a gunshot when a person shot in the back of the head, into a random stranger's car, and I'm Oh, and I ran, and I got up and I ran after I was shot in the head, and the bullet went in my skull and went out the other side, and then I ran, and then I ran.
So here we have Rob McIntosh and Mike Cronk. Mike Cronk is obviously the hero of the hour, so to speak. This guy that rescued 4 people and saved his buddy. Well, his buddy has a name, he's Rob McIntosh. So this is the guy that's been shot 3 times in the chest with an assault rifle just a couple of days ago. In fact, this was actually filmed yesterday, so it would be the day after. Just take a look at this. Absolute bullshit. I mean, I've seen some stuff in my time, but this takes the piss. He isn't wired up at all. He's got no oxygen mask on. He's got some kind of bandage that's just laid across his chest. It's not even strapped down. He's got nothing. There's nothing on him. There's no medication anywhere. There's no drips going in anywhere. We've got a saline bag there, but that's not connected up to him. It's just looking like it's there for show. We have the respirator that isn't being used. This guy's is more interested in looking at the camera than he's looking at his friend. Does he look like he was shot the day before? Does he look like he's just recovered from major surgery? 3 gunshot wounds in his chest. I mean, have you seen where the actual padding is for this alleged bullets that were supposed to have hit him in the chest? I'm sorry, but if they had hit him in the chest there, he'd be dead. He'd be dead. He looks pink. He's full of colour. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's not white. He's not lost all his blood. They want us to believe that this is real? Are you kidding me? Absolutely fake as. Just fake as. Lost for words. Absolute joke.
You know what really caught my eye is the girlfriend, supposedly. And I'm looking at this. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to go down. Okay? I went down and I'm looking at the area, the background, right? And now we've lightened up the shadows. So this might be pants here. That could be. Then we look over here. The pattern of the dress does not line up with the pattern of fabric or whatever we're supposed to be looking at down here. But there's something that really stood out even more. Look at the elbow, guys. Okay, look at how the elbow, and let me zoom in a little more. It's going to pixelate. That's not how an elbow looks. Elbows don't have straight lines that are cut off at a corner. It almost looks like her elbow rounds like this, but they did a sloppy job of editing this and cutting her out to insert into the photo. Okay, that's what it looks like to me. Now, could I be fooled? Sure, anything's possible.